Welcome back to my channel. I'm thrilled you're here. Today, we're diving into an intriguing topic, one that has been a part of human culture for centuries: the captivating myths surrounding animals. From the regal lion to the humble house cat, every creature carries a tale, a myth, or a legend that has been passed down through generations. These myths, often steeped in our cultural identities, have shaped our understanding and perception of these creatures, sometimes leading to misconceptions. In this video, we're going to explore and debunk some of these fascinating animal myths. We'll delve into why they exist, the cultural significance they hold, and the truth behind them. So, whether you're an animal enthusiast or a folklore fan, there's something in this for you. Prepare for an exciting journey into the world of animal myths. Stay tuned. Let's dive in with our first myth, that owls are harbingers of death. Since ancient times, the owl has been shrouded in a cloak of mystery and intrigue. Its nocturnal lifestyle, piercing eyes, and eerie calls have made it a perfect candidate for various superstitions and myths. One of the most prevalent among these is the belief that owls are harbingers of death. Casting our gaze back into history, we find the roots of this myth deeply embedded in various cultures. The Native American tribes, for instance, considered the owl a symbol of death and destruction. They believed that the owl was the spirit of the dead and that its hoot was an omen of impending death. Similarly, the Celts, known for their rich folklore, viewed the owl as a creature of the otherworld. They considered its presence a sign of change, often associated with death or transition. However, it's essential to underline that these are just myths, born out of fear and misunderstanding of these magnificent creatures. Owls, like all creatures of the night, often symbolize the unknown, and it's human nature to associate the unknown with fear and consequently death. But let's debunk this myth by shedding some light on the true nature of owls. Far from being harbingers of death, owls play a crucial role in maintaining the balance of our ecosystems. As predators, they control the population of rodents and other small mammals, preventing overpopulation and the spread of diseases. Moreover, their disappearance from an ecosystem could indicate environmental issues that might need addressing. And as for their haunting hoots, these are merely their means of communication. Whether it's a male owl hooting to attract a mate or a mother calling out to her owlets, these sounds are part of their survival, not an ominous prophecy of doom. So, the next time you hear an owl hoot, don't be afraid. Instead, appreciate these fascinating creatures for their true nature, as guardians of the night and vital contributors to our ecosystem. Moving on to our next myth, that black cats bring bad luck. Have you ever crossed paths with a black cat and felt a sudden shiver of apprehension? That's because for centuries, these ebony felines have been associated with misfortune and malice. This belief originated in the Middle Ages in Europe. Back then, black cats were seen as the familiars of witches, and it was thought that they assisted their mistresses in performing witchcraft. Over time, this association with witchcraft and the supernatural led to the widespread belief that black cats were harbingers of bad luck. But did you know that not all cultures see black cats as unlucky? In fact, quite the opposite. Let's take a quick trip to Japan. Over there, black cats are seen as symbols of good luck, especially for single women. The Japanese believe that owning a black cat can attract potential suitors. They also have a charm called the maneki neko, which is often a depiction of a cat, sometimes black, that is believed to bring good luck and fortune to its owner. In the seafaring world too, black cats were considered good luck and were often kept on ships as a charm against disaster. Sailors' wives would also keep black cats at home, in the hope that they would use their supposed supernatural abilities to protect their husbands at sea. The point here is, our feline friends, regardless of their coat color, are just that, friends. They're not mystical creatures with the power to determine our luck. So the next time you see a black cat, don't let an old myth cloud your judgment. Instead, maybe even consider giving it a little pat, if it's comfortable with you doing so, of course. In closing, let's remember that our pets, much like people, should not be judged by their color. They deserve love, respect, and kindness. So whether it's a black cat, a calico, or a tabby, they all make wonderful, loving companions. Remember, a cat's color has nothing to do with luck. Next up, The saying we've all heard, elephants never forget. This phrase has been passed down through generations, and there's some truth to it, but it's not as simple as it sounds. The saying taps into the remarkable intelligence of elephants. These majestic creatures are known for their complex social structures and emotional depth, which are closely tied with their memory. It's believed that the saying originated from observations of elephants' behavior. For instance, elephants can recognize family members and friends after years of separation. They also remember locations of water sources over vast distances and across seasons. This is essential for survival in the harsh environments where they live. But do they really remember everything? The answer is no. While elephants have exceptional memory for certain things, they don't remember everything. Similar to humans, elephants' memory is selective. They remember what they need to survive and thrive in their environment. They remember their friends, they remember their enemies, and they remember where to find food and water. But they don't remember every single event of their lives. This myth, while not entirely accurate, does highlight the impressive intelligence of elephants. Their memory capacity and emotional intelligence are comparable to those of humans and other highly intelligent animals. Research has shown that elephants can exhibit behaviors such as empathy, altruism, and even self-awareness. They mourn their dead, they play, and they can even recognize themselves in mirrors, a trait only a handful of animals possess. So, the next time you hear the saying, "elephants never forget," remember that it's not entirely true, but it does underscore the remarkable cognitive abilities of these gentle giants. Their memory is not infallible, but it is formidable. They may not remember everything, but what they do remember, they remember well. It's a testament to their intelligence and their incredible survival skills. While elephants never forget isn't entirely true, their impressive memory is something to be admired. Our next myth is a popular one, that goldfish have a 3-second memory. This belief is so widespread that it's nearly become a cultural punchline. But where did this notion originate? Well, it seems to have emerged from a misunderstanding of goldfish behavior and an underestimation of their cognitive abilities. Goldfish, like many other animals, have evolved to survive in their environment. They're not sitting around, pondering the mysteries of the universe. They're focused on finding food, avoiding predators, and reproducing. So it's easy to misconstrue their survival-focused behavior as an indication of limited memory. However, recent scientific studies have turned this myth on its head. These studies have shown that goldfish have a memory span of at least 3 months, not 3 seconds. In one study, researchers trained goldfish to press a lever to receive food. The goldfish not only learned to press the lever, but also remembered to do so even after the lever was removed for a month. In another experiment, goldfish were taught to associate a certain sound with feeding time. Even after being released into the wild, they still responded to the sound months later. These findings suggest that goldfish are capable of learning and remembering far more than we previously thought. They can recognize different human faces, learn to navigate mazes, and even remember routines. So, if you've been changing up your goldfish's tank decor to keep things fresh, there's a good chance your fishy friend appreciates your efforts. This myth-busting information is not just fascinating, it also encourages us to reconsider how we view and treat these often underappreciated pets. Goldfish are more than just decorative objects, they are living creatures with their own sets of skills and abilities. So, your little goldfish friend remembers more than you might think. Remember, just because an animal's life is vastly different from ours doesn't mean it's any less complex or interesting. Every creature, from the smallest goldfish to the largest elephant, has its own unique story to tell. So let's continue to explore, learn, and debunk those animal myths that we've come to accept as fact. Our last myth for today is that wolves howl at the moon. This imagery has been popularized in countless works of literature and folklore, painting a picture of a lone wolf, head raised, serenading the moon with its mournful howl. It's a scene that's both haunting and romantic, but how much truth does it hold? Let's take a step back and look at the origins of this myth. The idea of wolves howling at the moon likely stemmed from their nocturnal nature. Wolves are primarily active at night, and their howls can carry for miles, creating an eerie soundtrack to the night. With the moon often being the most noticeable feature in the night sky, it's easy to see how our ancestors might have made the connection. But here's the twist. The moon is not the reason behind their howls. So why do wolves howl? The answer is simple and far less mystical. Wolves howl as a form of communication. They use their haunting chorus to keep in touch with other members of their pack, to warn off intruders, and to call out to each other over long distances. It's more about social interaction than lunar appreciation. In fact, studies have shown that wolves will howl no matter the position of the moon in the sky, and they'll do it during the day as well. The moon doesn't have a monopoly on wolf serenades. Furthermore, wolves don't just howl, they also use a variety of vocalizations, from barks and growls to whines and yips, helping them express a wide range of emotions and messages. It's a sophisticated language that goes far beyond simple howls at the moon. In conclusion, while it's a captivating image, the myth of wolves howling at the moon is just that, a myth. It's a romantic notion born from our human fascination with the unknown and our desire to create stories around it. So wolves might howl at night, but it's not because they're moonstruck. It's their way of saying, "I'm here. Where are you?" Or, "This is my territory. Stay away." So next time you hear a wolf howl, remember, it's not a serenade to the moon, but a call to their pack. Well, we've certainly covered some intriguing myths today. We ventured into the fascinating world of animals and the myths that surround them, starting with the eerie association of owls with death. While this myth is prevalent in many cultures, it is essential to remember that an owl's nocturnal nature and haunting hoot are merely part of its survival strategy, not a sinister omen. Then we crossed paths with the misunderstood black cat. Yes, in some parts of the world, these felines are seen as bearers of bad luck. But in other cultures, they're considered good luck charms. So the next time you see a black cat crossing your path, don't let superstition cloud your judgment. We also delved into the elephantine myth that these gentle giants never forget. While it's true that elephants have remarkable memories, it's not accurate to say they never forget. Like us, they remember important information that helps them survive and thrive. Our journey then took us underwater, where we debunked the myth that goldfish have a 3-second memory. It turns out, these little swimmers have a memory span of at least 3 months. So don't underestimate the cognitive abilities of your goldfish, folks. Finally, we looked up to the moon and the myth of wolves howling at it. Contrary to popular belief, wolves don't howl at the moon. They howl to communicate, to assemble their pack, or to ward off rivals. The moon is just a beautiful backdrop. Each of these myths stems from cultural beliefs, misconceptions, or a simple misunderstanding of animal behavior. By debunking them, we not only learn the truth, but also gain a deeper appreciation for these incredible animals. Knowledge allows us to see beyond the myths, to see the animals for what they truly are, complex, fascinating creatures that share our world. Thank you for joining me on this myth-busting journey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, stay curious.